Anime dropped this year number 60, The Family Circumstances of the Irregular Witch. One episode watched, 3 out of 10. There's something a little disappointing when you encounter a show that has some ideas that you would otherwise love, but they end up wrapped in a package that ends up making the show be a complete mismatch for you in nearly every other regard. I do like a good series that is about familial relationships between character, even more if they're a found family instead of a traditional one. So, a story about a long lived witch choosing to adopt a more shortly lived human was something that could have been right up my alley. Unfortunately, I find it hard to deny that the handling of the daughter character is perhaps my entire reason for dropping the show. You see, there's this trope that comes up now and then called Born Sexy Yesterday. It's where you have a character that, in their physical aspects, design, and costuming, has been created to essentially exude sex appeal. But when they're actually in motion, they behave in ways that are innocent, whimsical, and frankly, childish. It's a trope that I find extremely easy to do poorly and makes a character more off-putting than they are endearing, and in the worst cases can feel incredibly gross. That's what's happening here. I think there is some attempt for the physical attributes and the behavior of the daughter to be sort of incongruous in order to facilitate comedy. However, the way the show frames and animates her, with a lot of focus on her physical assets and some animation that has way more bounce and detail than it needs to, makes it feel like the point is also to sexualize her in an otherwise what I think is supposed to be slice of life show, which comes off as really gross and creepy when taken in concert with her behavior, which veers more towards that of a 10-year-old than a teenager in quite a few scenes. And that's a shame because the parts that are focused purely on the familial interactions between the mother and daughter and a bit of the aunties can be pretty sweet and cute. Honestly, a lot of my issues with this series could have been solved by changing the framing of the daughter and making her about 10 years old.